Hey, this is George G. Welcome to George G's Room of Rock. How's everyone doing today? I'm going to do a little, I guess it's an impromptu video. I just kind of thought of this idea and I figured, well, it's fresh in my mind. I do it. Something a little different on the channel. I'm going to talk about concerts. Concerts we all go to and we all get to see. And I want to talk about some I've seen, some bands that I would like to see and would never going to get a chance to see for obvious reasons. And at the end, I hope that everyone writes comments on concerts they saw, their memorable concerts, bands they've seen that they love and seen multiple times, and bands that they wish they'd seen they couldn't. So I have a bunch of concert tickets I have here too. I'm going to show them off. If you can see them on the camera, to explain some of the shows that I went to real quickly. But first, let's talk about some of the concerts or bands I never got to see, and I'll never get to see them. And a couple of there were reasons for that they weren't bands when I was starting to see concerts. So I didn't go start seeing concerts until 1987. And my first concert was Kiss and Ted Nugent. And that was for the Crazy Nights tour. And I think Ted Nugent was on his If You Can't Lick 'Em, Lick 'Em. So basically the first band I ever saw was Ted Nugent. Both excellent. It was in New Jersey Meadowlands, Brendan Byrne Arena at the time. It was called that. And so that was my first concert. And, not that I go see a ton of them, but I did see quite a bit at the time. But there's a couple bands, of course, I would love to have seen and never going to see is like Led Zeppelin, because they were already done by 1980. Thin Lizzy, because, again, they were done. Queen, I never saw. I didn't get to Queen until later, but they stopped touring in 86, and I wasn't seeing concerts yet. I was still only like 14 or 15 years old, so I didn't see them either. And another, which one I really regret that I should have went, was Rush, because they stopped in 2015. I just didn't have the money, and it was like $200-$300 tickets. And I was like, and it was their last tour, and I really wanted to go, but it was just too much expensive. I really regret that, because now, Rush is done. But, live and learn. But there was a bunch of concerts I did go to, and I'll explain some of them with some of the tickets I have here. I'll put Big Peepers on here so I can see a little better. Anyway, so there's not any order. I just kind of grabbed some tickets I had. So this one was when I saw Motley Crue on the final tour. From let's see a little better, and it was a really good show. I mean, I did a nice job. I read the show with my wife and a friend of mine, and it was a really, really good show. And it was supposed to be the final tour, but obviously, that didn't. They're back on tour again. Which whether I go see them again, I don't know. We'll see. I got this one I saw in 1998, which was the only time I saw Van Halen. Kenny Wayne Shepherd open, and it was a really, really good show because it was with Gary Sharon, and everyone mocks Gary Sharon the era, but he really does a good job singing for the band. He did this Hagar stuff really good, and he did a lot of songs from the Roth era at the time that Hagar would never sing. So he opened up with Unchained. They did Romeo Delight. They did Somebody Get Me a Doctor. All those songs they did. It was just a great show for not many people were there, but it was still a great show for Van Halen. I got to see Van Halen once. I got to see him. That was great. This one, it was from 1995. And it was an Ace Frehley and Peter Criss at the Starland. Not Starland, at the Birch Hill. Sorry, Birch Hill is long gone. But I went to that one with a friend of mine, and it was like a little club. It was right before the reunion with Paul and Gene, and the whole rumor was they were going to show up there, but they weren't. They didn't. But it was a great show. I mean, Peter opened up, did his little band with his stuff, and then Ace came on, and Paul and Peter came in, and he did some did like Strange Waves and a couple other Kiss songs with him. So I remember that. Here's from 01. I saw Robert Plant. So I did get to see Robert Plant. You can see that, but I did see Robert Plant. He did a couple I think he did 10 Years Gone and Misty Mountain Hop and a couple others not so known I guess the Zeppelin tune. So that was a really good show. Steve Vai I saw. This was at the Birch Hill also in '96. So there you go, Steve Vai. He was the only one I saw instrumental. It was all instrumental, basically. Maybe a couple little songs he sang, but most of it was instrumental. Really, really great show. This one was really a memorable one because this was in '97 at the Birch Hill. It was Bruce Dickinson solo. Adrian Smith was in the band then, so they did. This is when Accident of Birth came out, or Accident of Birth came out. So it was really good. The last songs from that they did Flight of Icarus, a bunch of Maiden songs. It was really a good show too. This was 05 with Judas Priest when they reunited with Halford, and that was with Queensryche opening. With Jeff Tate was still in the band, so that was a really good show, really good tour too. Let's see, I got of course the normal Kiss I've seen, and this is '92. and that was with I'm gonna read it backwards. Faster Pussycat and Trickster. That was the Revenge Tour. Another good show. This was a famous one I went to, and that was Guns Metallica in 90. What did it say? 92. So that was one because a couple things for that. My wife was at the show. I didn't meet my wife for a few more years later, but it was funny. She was at the same show. And that was a show where Metallica was on. Faith No More opened. I didn't see Faith No More, wasn't into them, but we just were in the parking lot for that. And then Metallica came on, did a great show. Guns N' Roses took 3 hours to get 3 hours to get on stage. And they came on, did good, did a really good job with nice set list. And then the last they were doing Knocking on Heaven's Door, and someone threw something at Axl. He got pissed off and walked off the stage and didn't come back. And they're sitting there, the band's sitting there looking around playing the song, and Slash comes on the mic and says, "I guess he's not coming back, so we're going to end the show right now." So they didn't do a couple like Paradise City or Don't You Cry or Don't Cry, one of those. They didn't do those, but I actually know what his attitude was back in the 90s. But anyway, it was still a good show. This one was from 94. When I saw Aerosmith, the only time I saw Aerosmith, the Garden. It was a really good show. Brother Kane opened, if they were like more alternative like for the time, but they're a really good band too. Brother Kane, I have a couple of their albums. So that was the only time I saw Aerosmith. Original band, so that's going to point out to see the original band of them. And this is actually the one I was talking about, Kiss Ted Nugent, my first ticket ever from '87. I wasn't even old enough to go to the show. My friend Joe, his baseball coach, drove us to the game. Drove us to the arena to see the show. And this one is 1990, April 15th, Motley Crue. And I remember this because it was Easter Sunday. And I can't believe I was allowed to go see a show on Easter Sunday, but I went, and I think my sister went, and I think because Vince Neil comes on and goes, "Happy fucking Easter," and that was just pretty funny because it's Easter Sunday, but maybe not appropriate, but it was a good show too. First time I saw Motley Crue, that was good. This is the Kiss 1996 at the Garden with their reunion, first or second show at the Garden. I think it was the first show, so I got to see them when they reunited in the makeup with Ace and Peter. That was a great show. It was a little far back to see everything, but it was Kiss reunited with the makeup. They did Rock Bottom, and it's great. It was a freaking awesome show. Which one's this one now? This is another Kiss one. I got a lot of Kiss ones, so I don't want to bore them with that. This one is a really special one. Anthrax at the Starland Ballroom. This was actually videoed for the DVD, which I actually have the DVD of the shows. That was actually an active show that they filmed for us. So it's pretty cool to actually have a physical copy to show you were actually at. That was pretty badass. This one is hard to see it. I don't think I see this one or not. This was with David Lee Roth. That's hard to see it. David Lee Roth, Cinderella, and Extreme. And David Lee Roth came out with the big surfboard. That was I think it was a surfboard. I think he had the surfboard with that one. It was A Little Late Enough. I forgot who the guitar player was because at the time Jason Becker played on that album, Little Late Enough, but he didn't tour because that's when he really got sick and he couldn't play anymore. But it was still a really good show, and Cinderella was good. Even Extreme was good. Not a huge Extreme fan, but they were good too. This one is also when I saw Ozzy. This is for his No More Tears? Yeah, No More Tours back in '92. And it says Slaughter, Ugly Kid Joe. Well, Ugly Kid Joe played, but Slaughter did not. And it was Motorhead that played instead. So, and of course that was great. Motorhead was great, and Ozzy was great. That was a really good time for the band then. And Ozzy was great. It was a good show. This one was. Let's see that one. Get too many of these. This was what was it? Tower Theater. Oh, this is when I saw. Oh, it's just Poison. I think I saw Poison, Winger, Cinderella, and Faster Pussycat. They all played on this one show. It was a really rip-roaring show. And if you guys make fun of Winger, Winger was really good because they have a really talented band. I don't care. But make fun of Winger, Winger's a great band. Poison was great. So if you make fun of Poison, I love Poison. So don't care. This is another Kiss one. This is the when I was there. I saw 2 nights in a row. This is the one night there. It was third row. Seeing them, Kiss was right in front of you, third row, and I caught a pick from Ace Frehley, and it was so close, it was ridiculous. I've never seen Kiss since then. And I probably should go to the reunion at the last show coming, but it's gonna be expensive. I don't know if I'm doing it, but I'm not gonna top this one. I mean, third row with the original band, and in the '90s they were still like, Paul could still sing well, and catching a pick from Ace Frehley, it was great. I don't think that they were gonna be that's the best concert I ever went to. Nothing's gonna beat that ever. But that was that story. This one was another really good one with this is with Slayer, Megadeth, and Anthrax. So it was no Metallica with this one, but that was a really great show too. It was good because I saw Slayer with the original Slayer. Jeff Hanneman was still alive and still in the band, obviously, and I got to see the original Slayer. So that's where you can see original bands from. This one is back in '96 was the Scorpions and Alice Cooper. Another good show. Was at the PNC. It was pretty good seats at the PNC because you can see pretty much anything when you go there. So that was that one. Oh, and I also got from the Kiss one, if I forgot to, I got a piece of confetti. As dumb as that sounds. And this is the last one I pulled out. This was the Kiss convention from '96 that they did, and I was right there on the floor. Right, so and they actually had I think it was Conan O'Brien did a little thing on that too when he was actually at that show. His sidekick, what the heck's his name? Yeah, I forgot his name. But he was like right next to me in full Kiss makeup doing some interview thing or whatever. So that was cool. It was all acoustic Kiss stuff, and the convention was great. So yeah, so those are some of the tickets, some of the concerts I got to see. And, they were, like I said, I don't go through too many concerts anymore. The last two I got to go to was Peter Frampton, which is 2019 September. And I talked about that one in my other videos. But yeah, so Peter Frampton and the Garden, and then my wife won tickets, and it was really a really good show. I mean, it was really quiet in the arena for a lot of times I've seen bands in that arena. At the Garden, it was like so quiet. Like you hear a pin drop in there. It was like really crazy, so quiet. But the show was good. He did a lot of Humble Pie stuff, and it was really a really good show. And the next one after that was the last one I ever saw was Cannibal Corpse at Starland Ballroom here in Sayreville. And nobody wanted to go because nobody was into that band. No one wanted to see it. It was great. He sounded great. The band was awesome, and really loved that one. No one, it was crazy in there because people were all over the place moshing and whatever. I stay back because I'm too old to be getting in that mosh pit shit. I ain't doing that no more. I'm way past that time. Never did it when I was younger. But a couple other things I've seen other bands there. I've seen Doc and I've seen Wasp a couple times. And I told that story when I saw Wasp and a friend of mine it was at the Birch Hill, and Blackie comes and lights the Wasp logo. And they were just like, holy shit, this place is going up. And this is right after that. This is after the Great White incident where they went down, the fire burned down the little club there. This was after that. We're looking at each other like, oh my god, we're going up in flames, but it was under control. So they were a lot of memorable shows. The little club ones are always sometimes a little better than the big arenas. I mean, I see Dream Theater at the Birch Hill, and they actually have a live album from that show, which I have to get yet. They were amazing, and people were watching. There's a little dance club at the CERT club at the Rochelle used to have, and people were in the dance club looking in the window like this, looking at Dream Theater playing. So that was pretty memorable for that. But really good stuff I've seen over the years. I haven't seen too much. I haven't seen anything in years, except for like my wife and I go see one guy who does this acoustic stuff. We got Joe V. If anyone's in the New Jersey and the Central Jersey area, so we'll go see Joe V. Because he does a nice job. Just cover songs. He does a really nice job. He's a really, really nice guy. And so, anyway, I want to give him a little plug. I don't know if he's supposed to see this and know he's going to come to see him. But you know what? If you're sitting in the Central Jersey, go see Joe V. Anyway. And as far as concerts coming, we actually have 3 coming at the end of the year. In August, my wife won Metallica tickets for Giant Stadium. She won 2 nights. And I'm going the first night with her. It's going to be Pantera and Wolfgang Van Halen's band Mammoth Plans. I'm going to that one on that Friday, which is amazing. So I can't want tickets for that. So we're going to that, Metallica. And then in September, we're going to see ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner, which is great because even ZZ Top's got the one that Billy Gibbons got, rest in peace, isn't with us anymore. But going to see ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner. Never see Leonard Skinner, even though he's one surviving guy. But the singer, Johnny Van Zant's been in the band a long time. And Ricky Medlock's in the band. I love Ricky Medlock. I love Blackfoot. So that's going to be a good show. And we're going to see, now she got tickets for Skid Row and Buck Cherry. So that's another one in September. That's a couple shows I'm going to. Anyway, that's my little video for today, and I hope someone likes it. If you guys, whatever shows you're going to or seeing any memorable concerts, put it in the comments and tell me if you're going to any and what what venue, where do you see them, how many concerts you've seen by these bands, and like I said, I've seen a bunch of concerts. Oh, and like I said, forgot to mention one. I didn't mention one of the I got to see the original band was Black Sabbath. I got to see the original Black Sabbath back in the Ozfest tour 2001, 2000. I don't forgot what it was. It was I only went to see Black Sabbath for that. But it was Marilyn Manson and Slipknot. Didn't much care about Slipknot. Marilyn Manson was good. Not a big Marilyn Manson fan, but the show was really good. Black Sabbath was great because it had Bill Ward in it. It was a real band. And that was it. Anyway, I don't want to forget that in the video. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'll stop babbling on. But again, anything got to say about concerts, please put in the comments. And if you guys like what you see, please like and subscribe. And keep rocking that alive. See you next time.